Affairs Forum of WZTV Fox 17. And now your host, Dr. James Haney.
Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is mentoring the African-American male. And we have two persons here this morning to talk about some of the problems and some of the successes involved in the whole mentoring process. We have with us Mr. JThrillkill. And of course, Mr. Thrillkill is the executive director of 100 Black Men of Middle Tennessee. And with Mr. Thrillkill is Mr. RKing. Mr. RKing is the program coordinator for the Men of Distinction program of Bethlehem Centers of Nashville. And gentlemen, let me welcome both of you to the show this morning.
Thank you, Dr. Haney.
Thank you, Dr. What we'd like to do this morning is to talk about the problems that are generally associated with young people in our society, and to recognize that certainly not only black youngsters are involved in some of the things that we will talk about, but I think that both of you have indicated that you are primarily concerned with the mentoring of African-American males. And so we'll try to talk about it from that perspective. Mr. Thrillkill, let's start off with you and have Mr. King to give us essentially the same information. That is, some information about your background and education and the things that were important that eventually led you to the executive directorship of 100 Black Men of Middle Tennessee.
Dr. Haney, I grew up in 3 housing projects here in Nashville, the South Nashville Edge Hill projects, J.C. Napier, and Lane Garden projects in East Nashville. I was fortunate in that I had parents that were very concerned about me learning discipline and the things that were important in helping me to develop into a productive adult. I attended school, and our parents had rules about doing our homework. We had to come in when the lights came on, even though kids were still outside. And even though we didn't appreciate it at the time, those things were important as far as us learning the importance of education. I was fortunate after attending East High School to receive a football scholarship to Vanderbilt University, where my parents still encouraged me to continue my academics in case my athletic career didn't materialize. I received an injury in college and turned my focus to my artwork that I enjoyed just as much. And after graduation, Rosetta Davis, who had been familiar with my work as an artist, encouraged me to apply for the Community Services Director's position at Edge Hill Center, South Street Center at the time, and you're familiar with the organization. But in the process of doing that, I was able to return to a community where I had grown up, was able to tell the young people that I was working with that I came from this same community, in the process help them through arts and summer employment programs and drug prevention programs to develop into positive, productive young people who were focusing on their education, staying off of drugs, staying in school, and in the process we built a successful program at Edge Hill Center. I think my work at Edge Hill Center led the 100 Black Men of Middle Tennessee to inquire about my coming on board with that organization. I looked at the organization and saw that it had a tremendous commitment toward helping young black males, which is an important thing to me, and I was fortunate to be able to come on board with that organization so that I'm continuing in the work of trying to develop our African-American youth to successful adults.
Very good. And Mr. King, what about you and the Men of Distinction, your background, before we get into the Men of Distinction?
Well, my background, I am a Nashvilleian also. I'm a Pearl High School graduate. I went to Elliott School and went to Wharton Junior High School. Basically, I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force. And my life, I live down in the North Nashville area around Farmers Market. And even though I didn't come out of the housing complex like January Hell, I still came out of an impoverished area. And a lot of the things that impacted upon me, impacted upon these young men today. I worked, when I came out the military, I went back to school, went to Tennessee State University. And while I was in school, I worked as I worked for the Department of Juvenile Corrections as a dorm supervisor. I also coached junior pro football. And from there, after graduation, I went on to be a counselor at a residential group home for mildly and moderately retarded juvenile delinquent males. And from there, that led me to Bethlehem Center, being the program coordinator of the Men of Distinction program.
Very good. And of course, we want to talk about some of the problems that the two of you have encountered in dealing with young African-American males. But before we do that, let's talk about your organizations, really, because I think that both of you represent well-known organizations, and I think everybody might know about these organizations, but I think in terms of what these organizations are and the philosophy behind them and et cetera, let's talk about that. First, the 100 Black Men of Middle Tennessee, and then the Men of Distinction program.
Well, Dr. Haney, the 100 Black Men of Middle Tennessee was formed 3 years ago as a part of a national organization called 100 Black Men of America. 100 men came together back in the 70s to look at some solutions for the black community, and they were so successful that they decided to incorporate as an organization. And it was former Mayor David Dinkins who gave the group the name the 100 Black Men. This organization now sanctions chapters to open up nationwide to develop programs to impact the African American community. We're working specifically with young black males, grades 1 through 4, and trying to get them focused on their education, to provide a positive black male presence in their lives, and to also possibly motivate them to go on and finish high school and possibly provide some scholarship assistance to them. But it's a powerful statement when black men, successful black men, make a commitment to come back to the community, which is an important factor in developing our young people's success.
And so this is only one of several organizations throughout the nation.
Yes, sir. It's 35 chapters nationwide, and it's still growing at a rapid pace.
Very good. What about the Men of Distinction?